The first exercise is known as the Kegel squeeze. The Kegel muscles are the muscles in your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor is in the shape of a hammock connected at the front of your body to your pubic bone and at the back of your body to your tailbone. So they're the hammock muscles in between your legs. And we're going to squeeze those muscles. Now we want to remember, we're not squeezing our bum muscles, our glutes. We're squeezing the pelvic floor Kegel muscles on the hammock. And I have to imagine that I have to urinate, but there's no place to do that. So I squeeze my Kegel muscles in my pelvic floor to close the urethra off so the urine can't come out of my bladder. So I'm going to try to find that right now, and I'm going to try to squeeze them, right? And then I'm going to add my upper diaphragm here under my rib cage to this process. So I'm going to breathe in through my, relax everything. Good. I'm going to breathe in through my nose. And as I exhale through my mouth, I'm going to squeeze my Kegel muscles. Try it again. Breathe in through the nose. And as you exhale, squeeze the Kegel muscles. Don't let the urine out of your body. And one more time, in through the nose. And take a long time to exhale and squeeze the Kegel muscles. Like twice as long as it took to breathe in. Now, I'm not too good at this, so when I breathe in, I usually breathe in for about 1, 2, 3 seconds, and when I exhale or blow out twice as long and squeeze my Kegel muscles at the same time. So here I go. Squeeze. That's better. Just squeezing there and not worrying about the breath is your first task. Can you find your Kegel muscles in between your legs? Not your glutes, remember, not your bum muscles. Yeah, I'm squeezing them now. That's when I'm exhaling. I relax, breathe in through my nose, and then as I exhale, I squeeze my Kegel muscles. That's the Kegel squeeze exercise. Now, how and when and where and how often do I do this? Well, I want to do it several times a day, and I want to repeat it maybe 10 times. So if I'm in my car and I come to a stop and it's a red light, that's when I practice. And then when the light changes, I relax and I just carry on. Or if I'm watching television and maybe a commercial comes on, I would practice my Kegel squeezing until the commercial goes off. So I find a time during the day when I can actually focus on the pelvic floor Kegel muscles. And by the way, that series of muscles down there, there's about 14 of them. And they're in layers, 5 different layers. And there's lots of fascia or connective tissues down there too to help support your pelvic floor. So there's lots going on. Practice your Kegel squeeze. The second exercise is known as the twin diaphragm squeeze. So we have a diaphragm up here underneath our rib cage that moves up and down. And then we have a diaphragm down in our lumbar pelvic floor area that moves up and down. So as we breathe, the diaphragm up here moves down and pushes the lower diaphragm down. And then exhale, inhale, these two diaphragms are going like this. Well, we want to make the diaphragm in our lower pelvic floor area really strong, and we want to make this diaphragm really strong too. So to make this one strong, we do deep breathing. And if we bend over like this and try to deep breathe, it's even harder, which is even better. It'll make it stronger, faster. And if we bring our lower body up toward the middle of our body here, by bringing our legs together, it causes a lot of friction on that lower diaphragm in your pelvic floor. So I'm going to get myself down on the floor here with a little bit of a pillow or towel underneath my neck. And then I'm going to straighten one leg, and I'll try it with one leg bent. So I could be in this position and I could be deep breathing. It might not feel like much is going on, so maybe I might want to lift the leg, the bent leg up, and bring it closer to the middle of my body, and then maybe lift my head up so when my body's coming together like that to work both diaphragms. Or maybe I could even hold on to my leg and pull it in even more and then lift my head up. That would be an ideal position. But when I've got my head up like this, I still have to do deep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Twice as long, right? You breathe in for a couple of seconds and blow out for twice as many seconds. So in. Then relax, relax, relax. When you're ready, maybe we could try the other side. So we bring the leg up. That's the beginning of pushing the pelvic floor diaphragm up. And then maybe if I want, I can grab my leg somewhere and pull it in a little bit more. Maybe, just maybe, I'll lift my head up. Maybe I won't, along with my upper body, right? And then I can do the deep breathing. Then relax everything. So we'll do it one more time, make it even harder. So we'll take both legs in the lower body and bring them up. That works the lumbar spine diaphragm or the pelvic floor muscles. They're both the same thing. And then we'll also lift our upper body up and we'll do the deep breathing. So we'll do all of that. So we'll take both legs up. Maybe I'll pull here and pull them in. Then I'm going to lift my upper body up and then I'm going to deep breathe. Notice my neck is in neutral, my head and my neck. I haven't got my chin like this. I'm keeping my head in neutral. Okay? Relax, relax. Now, if all that's too complicated, you could just lie here and deep breathe. Or maybe you could take one leg and bend it. Or maybe two legs and bend them. That puts a little bit of pressure on your lower diaphragm or your pelvic floor. You could maybe lift your head up, maybe not, but don't forget to deep breathe. Exercise number 3 is the bridge. I'm sure you've done the bridge before, but you need to do it. To do it really well, you need to be down on the floor. So I'm going to use a little cushion for the back of my neck and head. And then I'm going to get down here on my back any way I can, as long as I'm feeling okay about how I get down. And then I'm going to bend my legs. So remember, when you bend your legs, it puts pressure on your pelvic floor, the muscles in your Kegel area between your pubic bone and your tailbone, that little hammock. When you bend your legs, it puts pressure on that. If you lift your legs up or your hips up, it'll put more pressure on it. And then to get the upper diaphragm here underneath your rib cage to be involved in a more intense way, you will do the deep breathing. But to do the bridge, I'm just going to keep my legs bent, my feet are flat, my arms are at my sides, my palms are down. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to lift my hips up, trying to line up my shoulder, my hip, and my knee into a straight line. So maybe it's a little bit like this because I can't get my hips up high enough. All right, you might feel a few cramps here and there depending on how much exercise you do. But anyway, so I get my hips up and then as high as I can, then I breathe deeply in through my nose Out through my mouth, twice as long. Now that's way too hard for you. You could try it like this. You could breathe in through your nose, and as you exhale, lift your hips. And then when you run out of breath, just slowly come back and rest for a second. So then we'll try it again, in through the nose. And as you exhale, lift your hips. When you run out of breath, slowly put your hips down and relax. One more time. And relax. Okay, so it's all about bringing the lower body up and the upper body down so that you're working the diaphragm underneath your rib cage and you're working the diaphragm in your pelvic floor between your legs, the Kegel muscle.